I don't know who needs to hear this, but scrolling is not a hobby. And if you've ever closed an app after 2 hours of scrolling and just stared at the ceiling thinking, why do I feel so empty? This is for you. It's not because you need a new wardrobe. It's not because you need a relationship. It's not because you're behind in life. It might just be because you haven't been feeding your mind. The way you spend your free time is either building you or dulling you. There's no neutral. Every habit is shaping your personality, your conversations, your confidence, your standards, even the tiny habits, especially the tiny habits. And that's why today we're being intentional. Welcome back to Cherry Glow. Today we're talking about hot girl hobbies, the kind that actually make you smarter, deeper, and more interesting. Not just aesthetically pleasing, not just cute on camera, but transformative. These are the hobbies that make you magnetic without trying, the ones that make people say, there's just something about her. Let's get into it. Number 1, reading with intention. Not reading because it sounds impressive, reading because it stretches you. From romance to fantasy, science fiction, memoirs, biography, thriller, psychology, finance, whatever sparks your curiosity. Books that challenge your perspective, stories that make you close the page and just sit there. I remember a holiday when I had an injury and couldn't move much. Everything felt slower and quieter, so I disappeared into romance novels and fiction. And boy, did that change a lot. I started noticing patterns in love, recognizing red flags in storylines that mirrored real life, seeing how emotionally intelligent characters communicated versus how chaotic ones self-sabotaged. When you read consistently, your vocabulary sharpens, your empathy expands, your imagination deepens. You don't just talk, you articulate, and articulation is powerful. Number 2, learning a new language. Expanding your world expands your confidence. I'm currently learning French and I spend about 30 minutes a day on Duolingo. Et je pense que tu es vraiment incroyable et capable de grandes choses. There's something beautiful about being able to think in another language. It stretches your brain. It teaches patience. It humbles you. It reminds you that fluency in anything is built slowly. And imagine traveling one day and ordering your coffee effortlessly, or complimenting someone in their native language, or reading poetry the way it was originally written. That's depth. If you're learning too, find a streak partner. Make it playful. Make it disciplined. Make it yours. Number 3, journaling for clarity. Not aesthetic journaling, not performative journaling, honest journaling. Writing what you want, writing your plans, writing what you're tolerating, writing what hurt you, writing what you learned, writing the uncomfortable truth you've been avoiding. You don't need perfect handwriting. You don't need fancy prompts. You need honesty. I've had an on and off relationship with journaling, but this year I've become more intentional about it. Even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's messy, when you write consistently, you stop gaslighting yourself. You start seeing patterns, you notice cycles, you recognize your triggers. Clarity changes how you move, and when you move with clarity, you move with power. Number 4, intentional movement. Pilates, ballet, strength training, long walks, swimming, tennis, horse riding, movement that builds you instead of punishes you. I haven't started Pilates yet, but it's something I genuinely want to try this year. From what I've gathered, it's less about intensity and more about alignment, and that's the energy you want in your life. Alignment. And swimming is elegance in motion. It strengthens your entire body while calming your nervous system. There's something deeply therapeutic about being in water. It teaches rhythm, breath control, and endurance without chaos. Tennis? That's sharpness, strategy, agility. It trains your reflexes and your focus. You're thinking, moving, calculating, all at once. It's athletic and intellectual at the same time, while horse riding is about presence. Horses mirror your energy. If you're anxious, they feel it. If you're calm, they respond. Riding builds posture, balance, confidence. And there is something undeniably graceful about a woman who knows how to ride. Movement isn't just about fitness. It's about embodiment. When you move intentionally, you carry yourself differently. You sit straighter, you walk slower, you become more aware. And awareness, that's elegance. Number 5, creative expression. Painting, drawing, pottery, DIY projects, knitting, baking, anything that allows you to create instead of consume. Creative hobbies slow you down in the most beautiful way. Knitting, for example, is patience woven into fabric. It teaches consistency. It teaches you that small, repetitive actions create something tangible and warm. There's something incredibly grounding about working with your hands and watching something grow row by row. And baking? Baking is chemistry and comfort combined. Measuring precisely, mixing gently, waiting for something to rise. It teaches timing, attention to detail, and care. When you bake for someone, you're offering more than food. You're offering intention. I have a painting in my room that I made during one of the darkest seasons of my life. It was the first painting I ever made, and every time I look at it, I feel every emotion that was poured into it. But I also see growth. Art holds memory. Creativity is not about perfection. It's about presence. Sometimes what starts as a coping mechanism becomes a talent, and sometimes it simply becomes therapy. You don't create to impress. You create to express. Creativity builds depth. Depth builds magnetism. Number 6, learning skills that scare you a little. At one point, I decided to learn video editing for fun. Just curiosity, no big plan, no pressure. And now I create and edit all my videos for this channel myself. And even though I'm constantly improving and learning, I'm proud of the progress I've made. That's what happens when you follow interest instead of waiting for permission. Learning something technical builds confidence in a different way. It proves to you that you are capable of figuring things out. Maybe for you it's photography, maybe it's coding, maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's starting a blog. It could literally be anything because there's endless possibilities. Hot girls are not afraid to build competence. Number 7, researching random things. Psychology, body language, cultural traditions, historical women, perfume notes, art history. Let yourself fall into research spirals, but intentional ones. When you enjoy learning, conversations become richer. You become the person who adds insight instead of noise. You're not just reacting, you're contributing. Curiosity is attractive because it signals depth. Number 8, fashion study. Not just shopping, studying yourself, your proportions, your colors, the silhouettes that flatter you, the textures that elevate you. When you understand your body and your style, you stop chasing trends. You build a wardrobe that reflects you. That's when you stop asking, does this look good? And start saying, this feels like me. Self-awareness is always in style. Number 9, solo experiences. Going to a cafe alone, attending a workshop alone, visiting a museum alone. You do not have to wait for friends. You do not have to wait for a partner. You do not have to wait to live these experiences. When you take yourself out, you build self-trust. You realize you can handle silence. You can enjoy your own company. You can sit with your thoughts without panicking. Solitude builds confidence in a way external validation never can. Number 10, hosting small rituals, tea nights, mini book clubs, themed dinners, creative evenings. You don't need 20 people. 2 is enough. Hosting teaches you how to curate atmosphere, how to think about details, how to make someone else feel welcomed. That's emotional intelligence in action. It's okay to be introverted. It's also okay to stretch yourself gently. Growth often hides behind small risks. Number 11, cooking with intention, not rushing, not just surviving, learning flavors, pairing herbs, understanding textures, baking bread from scratch, perfecting a cake recipe, learning how long something needs to rise. When you cook and bake intentionally, you develop intuition. You begin to understand balance. Too much salt overwhelms, too little leaves things flat. That metaphor extends beyond the kitchen. There is something deeply powerful about knowing you can take raw ingredients and turn them into something comforting, nourishing, beautiful. Domestic competence is not outdated. It's empowering. It means you can care for yourself. It means you can host. It means you can create warmth wherever you go. And warmth is unforgettable. Number 12, learning an instrument. Music trains focus, discipline, emotional regulation. You cannot fake progress. You practice, you struggle, you repeat, and slowly you get better. That kind of discipline strengthens your patience in every other area of your life. Number 13, volunteering or mentoring. Giving your time expands your perspective. It humbles you, it grounds you, it reminds you that your world is not limited to your current stress. Service builds compassion, compassion builds wisdom. Number 14, self-defense or martial arts. Not from fear, from empowerment. Training your body to react calmly under pressure changes your posture. It changes your eye contact. It changes how you enter rooms. Strength is elegant. Number 15, daily walks without your phone, no music, no scrolling, just you and your thoughts. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. Your brain will look for distraction, but then clarity, ideas will come, realizations will surface, decisions will feel easier. Stillness strengthens intuition. Number 16, personal finance education, learning how money works, budgeting, investing basics, understanding interest, building savings intentionally. Financial literacy is self-respect. When you understand your money, you reduce anxiety, you increase options, you build freedom, and freedom is the ultimate glow-up. Number 17, public speaking or communication training, taking a speaking class, joining a discussion group, practicing storytelling. Your voice deserves to be heard clearly. Confidence in communication changes interviews, relationships, opportunities. When you speak calmly and intentionally, people listen. Number 18, mindfulness or meditation practice. Not just trendy self-care, actual mental training. Learning to observe your thoughts instead of becoming them. Even 5 minutes a day strengthens emotional regulation. You become less reactive, more grounded, more aware, and grounded women are powerful. Number 19, building something long-term, a blog, a YouTube channel, a small business idea, a passion project. Consistency over time builds identity. You don't just have an idea, you become someone who executes. That discipline compounds. Number 20, vision planning. Not just vision boards, vision clarity. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Who are you becoming? What habits align with her? Sit down and map it out. Write your future in detail. The kind of mornings you wake up to, the energy you carry, the standards you hold. When you see her clearly, you start making choices that align with her. And alignment is the real glow. The glow up you want is not in a product. It's in your habits. You don't need to do all 20. You need to choose intentionally. Let your free time reflect the woman you're becoming. This isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional. So tell me, what hobbies are you adding this year? And what interesting hobbies are you already engaging in or looking to explore? As always, dream it, be it, keep glowing. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.